We start off strong as we watch a soldier running through the field as if his life depended on it. And indeed, it does. His name is Heinrich, and he's being pursued by his own battalion. They are shooting at him, intending to kill him, all while yelling, "Traitor." This is happening because a man named von Starfield wanted it so. Starfield is a cruel man who ordered Heinrich's capture that very morning. Now, Heinrich is kneeling before him, after being caught by his own friends and comrades. They judge him for desertion, a crime punishable by death, so they hang him from a tree and leave him to asphyxiate. Fortunately, a woman named Elsa saw what was happening and approached silently. When the soldiers moved away, she freed Heinrich and saved his life. While Heinrich recovers his breath, his former comrades, along with Starfield, reach a nearby town and spread panic among the residents who are not used to seeing German troops in their land. In the cabin, Heinrich meets Paul, Elsa's brother, who has a few loose screws in his head but is harmless. Back in town, Starfield meets Robert, the military officer in charge of keeping the peace in the village. There, he asks him to take him to the mansion owned by Heinrich's parents. It has burnt to the ground, and the villagers stole whatever items of value were left. However, Starfield seems interested in finding something there, and Robert gets nervous. Perhaps he knows what Starfield is referring to. Meanwhile, Heinrich is regaining his strength in Elsa's house, to whom he has not even thanked for saving his life. The next morning, Starfield makes all the villagers remove the blocks from the ruins. He won't leave until he finds what he's looking for. His first officer tells him the enemy troops could reach the town in 2 days. That's the time they have to find what he is after and then get out. Starfield sends him to loot the town and gather all the food they can. A few hours later, they arrive at Elsa's cabin and try to take her chickens. But she comes out with a shotgun and threatens them. Derner, the officer in command, laughs at her and enters the house, where he can see Paul. However, Heinrich is hiding in the attic. If he wants to survive, he must keep quiet and let Elsa handle the situation. But things get worse when Derler grabs Elsa by the neck and pins her against the table, planning to do things we can't say out loud. Unable to bear what he's seeing, Heinrich comes out of hiding and helps her, managing to heat up some of Derler's intimate parts in the process. Outnumbered, Heinrich has no choice but to use all his cunning to fight, leaving only Derler alive, who escapes but will surely come back with reinforcements. Heinrich advises Elsa to flee, but she refuses. She built that cabin with her own hands, and nothing in the world will make her abandon it. After a while, Heinrich manages to convince her to escape together through the forest. So they take everything they can carry and begin their trek. Meanwhile, Derler has returned with his unit and tells them that Heinrich is still alive and is hiding something important. Back with Heinrich, Paul won't stop talking about his cows and the fact they haven't eaten. Heinrich tries to focus on the plan, but Paul's complaints are a bit unbearable. The next morning, Heinrich wakes up and the complaints are gone. Elsa checks all around, but there's no sign of Paul. Then they hear vehicles in the distance, and when they peer toward the cabin, they see Paul being taken by Starfield's troops. They have no choice but to go back to town. There, Starfield has gathered a crowd and is questioning them about something very important. It was rumored that at Heinrich's parents' estate there was a treasure, gold bars, very valuable to the army, that must appear as soon as possible. Robert, who seemed to know the story, plays dumb, but Starfield threatens to kill the villagers if they don't hand over the precious metal. To show how serious he is, he puts a rope around the neck of a poor boy and prepares to hang him in front of everyone. At that moment, the church's priest steps out to stop this madness, and Paul flees, but his freedom only lasts a few seconds as the soldiers chase him into the clock tower. Once there, poor Elsa's brother repeats to himself that uniforms are bad, and he attacks one of the guards, managing to throw him from the top of the tower. With the weapon the guard dropped, he kills the other with a burst of gunfire. Despite Paul's phenomenal performance, the villain puts a bullet through his head at the very moment Elsa arrives at the tower. Outside the church, Starfield is about to execute Robert, who refuses to tell him what happened with the supposed gold. But his aim is pathetic, and he can't land a single shot. Starfield has the advantage and could shoot him in the head if he wanted, but as soon as he sees Elsa, he falls madly in love and lowers his weapon. While Starfield fantasizes about Elsa in the street, Heinrich has begun a fight with the rest of the unit, eliminating several soldiers and escaping the area. The unit pursues him, and after a tough battle in which grenades take center stage, only Dörler and Heinrich remain for the final fight. But they're interrupted by American planes firing upon both of them. With no options left, Heinrich is forced to flee. Though he has the chance to stay and finish off Dörler, he prefers to live today and fight again tomorrow. After running for a while, he manages to hide in a house where an elderly woman finds him. The young man has a knife stuck in his leg and lacks the courage to do what is necessary. Suddenly, the older woman yanks the knife out in one motion and treats his wound. Her son is also in the army, and she has had her own experiences in war. That night, the parish priest appears at the elderly woman's house. He has just buried Paul and given him his final farewell. There he runs into Heinrich and tells him what he knows. Starfield has Elsa captive and wants to make her his wife, but the priest refused, for the time being. Moreover, his men are searching for a Jewish family's gold hidden in the area. Meanwhile, Robert is close by, meeting with two other men who have information about the gold but are not willing to let the Germans keep it. Robert, who knows everything, apologizes, but his family is at risk. If he doesn't give something to Starfield, by dawn his daughter will be hanged. As he goes upstairs to leave, someone strikes him in the face with a shovel. It's Sonia, his wife, who has put up with him for too many years and has had enough. Clearly, she's wearing the pants now and won't let the Germans take her gold. On the other side, Starfield has prepared a special dinner to propose marriage to Elsa. There he removes the mask he wears, and we see that half his face is shattered from an explosion. In the hole where his eye should be, he keeps the ring that once belonged to his wife, as if seeing a murderer put fingers into a hole in his own face wasn't enough to kill your appetite. Starfield proposes to Elsa right then and there. Back with Heinrich, the priest confesses that Robert stole the gold and hid it in the family's tomb. However, the priest managed to remove it one night and has it hidden in the church. In Starfield's house, Elsa has been forced to share his bed. When he falls asleep, she looks him over and is intrigued by the size of his ring. Turns out, it has a secret compartment where he keeps a pill. She steals it and gets out of bed. But Starfield senses the movement and asks her where she is going. Elsa pops the pill into her mouth and then kisses him passionately, managing to pass him the pill. Then, with a direct punch to the jaw, she makes him swallow it, causing foam to gush from his mouth. It was a cyanide capsule, and Starfield has just suffered a horrible death. Returning to the action, Heinrich throws a bar of gold into the barracks. To make a deal, Elsa, in exchange for the gold, Dörler goes to Starfield's room to inform him of Heinrich's offer, but instead finds his leader's corpse, and Elsa has escaped. To trick Heinrich, they use a maid, and when he lets his guard down, they toss a grenade at him, knocking him out. Now he's been captured by Dörler and his men, who are eager to extract information about the gold, just as Sonia and her partners are doing. They have kidnapped the priest and forced him to lead them to the gold. As expected, the priest brings them to the church and points out the spot where he hid the treasure. Sonia's partners are pulling out the bars when they set off a grenade, sealing their fate. Shortly after, Dörler and his men arrive at the church. There's the gold scattered on the floor. Seeing everything he needs, Dörler executes the priest and begins collecting the ingots. Moments later, Elsa from outside uses a panzer to destroy the church entrance. She and the priest's wife, Ingard, assault the place, killing several soldiers. When Ingard sees her husband's body, she is overcome with grief and leaves herself vulnerable, allowing a bullet to pierce her head just a second later. Elsa, on the other hand, keeps her focus and manages to eliminate every remaining soldier. Unfortunately, Dörler is still alive and attacks Elsa from behind in a brutal manner, nearly killing her until Heinrich stops him and uses one of the gold bars to crush Durler's skull. In the end, Heinrich and Elsa flee the town, leaving the gold behind, since it was never of any interest to them. Sonia, who had been playing dead the whole time, gets up after everyone leaves and gathers the gold, managing to escape the village in a German car. As she drives through the fields with a grin from ear to ear, an American army tank turns her car into a fireball, sending her to the afterlife. As for the gold, the Americans have no intention of looking for it, so it will be left for some other unsuspecting person who truly deserves it. If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.